This dissertation aims to examine a widely discussed phenomenon in recent times, the internationalization of Italian small and medium-sized enterprises, and it is likewise focusing on the role played by the linguistic cultural mediator, expert in internationalization processes. The world stage has been characterized over the last years by a growing, massive and widespread interaction process, both from an economic point of view and in social, cultural, technological terms. This irreversible process, which affected in various ways and with a varying degree of intensity, both industrialized and emerging countries, developing countries and even backward countries, has been called globalization. The removal of restrictions on the movement of goods and capital facilitated the possibility of expansion of companies abroad, with the aim to increase profits. Therefore, the term internationalization envelops all activities that a company undertakes with regards to its relations with foreign markets. In Italy, since the beginning of the economic crisis in 2009, the terms innovation and internationalization are often mentioned, but the question that arises spontaneously is: are our small and medium-sized enterprises ready for this step, which becomes every day more and more necessary in order to survive the crisis? Companies, even the most structured, very often are not able to tackle with international markets. The main problem is not the size of an enterprise, rather their know-how and mentality. Establishing relationships with people from countries with different cultures implies knowledge that very often are not part of the international entrepreneur's know-how. Therefore, when we talk about internationalization, we must necessarily talk about reorganization. The questions regarding the issue of internationalization of enterprises are basically the same. What are the reasons, the possible methods, and the most appropriate strategies to operate in international markets? With reference to the first point, that is, the reasons driving small medium-sized enterprises to internationalize, you can grasp the double valence of the choice of internationalization. Both as a necessity, in fact it is now unthinkable that even a small business can survive and prosper only within the borders of their own country, and as a real competitive opportunity, a strategic path that aims to sustain a dimensional and profits growth. From the point of view of its entry modes, the classic models of economic internationalization theories, that is, via export or via foreign direct investment, have been replaced by new forms of international investment, that is, new kinds of collaboration between companies. New forms of internationalization are compatible with the Italian small-medium-sized enterprises characteristics that make the distinctive and interpersonal skills their strengths. Finally, in terms of strategies to tackle international markets, we can state that the strategic levers of the internationalization process, as in any reorganization, are based on the market analysis, the internal analysis of the company, and finally on the method analysis related to the type of product, the market demand, but also to the enterprise financial capacity. The internationalization process provides that companies reorganize the structural capacities to be appropriate to the new competitive environments. Among the identified problems during an internationalization process, it should be noted the existence of significant deficiencies in terms of the senior manager's training requirements. For this reason, the entrepreneur, increasingly often, requires the collaboration and a consultation of a linguistic cultural mediator to contextualize the business activities in a wider scenario. Thus, the linguistic cultural mediator, with language and communication skills usable in different professional contexts, is able to manage communication processes between different cultures, peoples, and countries, and to facilitate the development of the internationalization processes of companies. When an interpreter takes charge of the role of mediator between homologous organs of two different countries, they must first of all know how to behave. Not only could the linguistic lack jeopardize the transaction, but even prevent the correct development of business. Whoever acts as an intermediary between two different languages must possess not only language skills, but also all commercial, economic, and legal knowledge. Focusing on the characteristics of the Italian small-medium-sized enterprises, which make up almost 97% of the Italian industrial system, we could say that if the Italian entrepreneurs sometimes are lacking in administrative and organizational skills, they certainly aren't in specific sector knowledge. The Italian company is born as an artisan company, in other words, from its founder know-how, who possesses the skills and creativity necessary to create an excellent product. The creative capacity and the direct management of project and production activities represent one of the main drivers of the competitiveness of our businesses. The Italian product differs from others as it is the result of a perfect synthesis between functionality and creativity expression. These are the factors that have made the success of Made in Italy brand in the world. Finally, from the practical standpoint, it should be noted that the internationalization of a company is defined also as the process of adapting a product to a type of market to which the product was not originally intended, which means making appropriate language and graphics modifications to the product you want to commercialize. Before proposing a product to a foreign market, a thorough analysis of the target market and a consumer behavior influenced by individual and social variables such as social environments and cultural dimensions is therefore recommended, on the basis of those behaviors that blend marketing policies. The actual landing place to the foreign market is, in conclusion, the final step of a journey of study and analysis. If we want this country to leave the crisis behind and come back to look the European partners and global competitors with heads held high, it should be announced. Companies that have undertaken this adventure are to be supported and they should be taken as a model. All obstacles should therefore be removed to ensure that individual success stories, and there are many of them, become the success of an entire productive system, the success of a country.